guys, your boy Benny. Women asked if men ever really cry, and I say, well, I don't think it's actually really permissible for a man to cry, certainly in public or on video, except for in a few very rare private circumstances, like the birth of your child, the death of your dog, or looking at an election map that looks like this. Here we go, baby. This is it. This is enough to really get you going, and if the side effects of this map last for more than 4 hours, please consult your doctor. President Trump won in a resounding, definitive electoral landslide. 312 is the final number. Democrats currently trying to steal Senate seats and House seats in the dark of night. Shouldn't allow them to do it nonetheless. Donald Trump beat Kamala Harris like a drum by 5 million votes in the popular vote. This is a remarkable margin. Donald Trump won every single county more red than in 2020. There's not a single county that Kamala Harris did better at or in than Joe Biden, leading to a number of very interesting questions about the electorate. But nonetheless, we'll take this exciting result. Now, what does that mean for the people who are trying to put Donald Trump in prison? Well, it means that they have lost the will of the people, and they themselves should probably be going to jail. You saw yesterday that Jack Smith has been fired from the DOJ, that Jack Smith has been told that all of his prosecutions against Donald Trump must now go away because you can't prosecute a sitting president. This is a very exciting update, given the fact that Jack Smith is the one who will be investigated himself. We have that on good authority, because Jack Smith has been obviously colluding with the Biden Department of Justice and Joe Biden administration to try and lock up, politically assassinate, judicially assassinate Donald Trump. And he should be treated like an assassin, ladies and gentlemen. He is somebody who is a political dirty bomb who is sent in. He did this in Virginia to Bob McDonnell, who was the governor of Virginia. Jack Smith should have his career destroyed and not be allowed to do this to anybody else ever again. Although it is glorious that now all of the lawfare against President Trump is collapsing in short order. Judge in Trump's hush money trial considers tossing felony convictions after election win. They were able to get one single conviction against President Trump. This was for bookkeeping records in New York, which is insane. You remember this sham of a trial, an absolute disgrace to our legal system. And of course, the judge overseeing this case is somebody who personally benefited from the case, so he should have been recused. His name's Juan Merchan. Juan Merchan is a Manhattan Supreme Court justice, and he has now decided that he's going to delay and potentially drop all of Donald Trump's charges. Oh yeah, baby. They're all trying to make nice now. This guy should be put in prison himself. I mean, again, I don't want to scream and say everyone needs to go to jail, but this guy's literally acted against the Constitution of the state of New York. His daughter was making tens of millions of dollars in fundraising, saying that they're going to put Trump in prison, and then daddy goes and tries to put Trump in prison. He could have sentenced Trump to Rikers Island. Now that will never happen. Manhattan judge who oversaw Donald Trump's hush money trial is expected to announce next week if the president-elect's historic felony conviction will stand. Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Juan Merchan has already delayed sentencing by more than 4 months to come after the election. He gave himself until next Tuesday to decide if the conviction should stand. Trump's overwhelming election win will further embolden his legal team to make sure that the sentencing never happens, CNN's chief legal correspondent said. Here, they're going to argue that the judge's sentencing could never happen because now that Donald Trump is the president-elect, they will say he's entitled to the same constitutional protections as any sitting president and cannot be prosecuted by state actors, which is true. Here's that clip.
His legal team is going to try to make sure that sentencing never happens. As we know, their usual strategy is always to just try to get things delayed. But here they're going to argue to the judge that the sentencing should never happen because now that Trump is president-elect, They will say that he is entitled to the same constitutional protections as a sitting president and should be protected from state actors, and in this case, state prosecutors. Now, the judge overseeing that case, Judge Juan Merchan, he's given himself a deadline of November 12th to decide if the conviction against Trump should be tossed. Based on the Supreme Court's recent ruling on immunity, if he tosses the conviction, there'll be no sentencing. But if that sentencing continues to go forward, this is the argument that the Trump team is going to make.
Well, what you going to do? You know, try and throw the single most popular American president in my lifetime in prison? That's what you're going to do? All right, buddy. Tread lightly. Tread lightly, man. We know this Trump team. We know them well. They're on our program all the time. And they got a chip on their shoulder because of guys like Juan Merchan. I think there could be some bad things that happen if someone were to investigate Juan Merchan, the money that his daughter makes, and his conflicts of interest. This guy should be disbarred, disrobed. This man should face his own charges. He profited. He profited off of putting Trump in prison. His family was making a fortune off of putting Trump in jail. In the fever dream that they kept selling literal smooth-brained sheep Democrats that they're going to put Trump in prison. Yeah, the Democrat Party is not good at defeating Donald Trump. Legal experts have already predicted that Trump won't face any time. Merchan doesn't have the stomach to imprison a former president or president-elect. Yeah, duh. Now that Trump has won, criminal problems go away. That's right. They are freaking terrified. Some of the reactions here. It's all lawfare. Isn't it amazing how all of these cases drop? They all drop like that. They're gone. Gone. Like a fart in the wind. It's gone. What does that say about the cases? What does it say about the rigor of the actual cases? They're all fake in the first place. We have beat the lawfare. Trump was set to be sentenced in Tish James' BS case against him in just a couple weeks, but her ambitions have collapsed. The stage was collapsing as Tish James walked upon it to give this speech.
We did not expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result. We faced this challenge before, and we used the rule of law to fight back. And we are prepared to fight back once again.
Why do they talk like this? It's like they're such LARPers, right? They're like live action role playing, like resistance people. Like you can already see it. You can already see it. Like it's so cringe. This whole like we're the resistors. We're against the system. No, you are the system. It's just your system's failed, and we're building something new. Trump and Speaker Johnson should make it clear that Schumer and Gillibrand won't sign off on a penny of federal funds going to New York until James, Merchan, and Bragg stop their S. Yesterday, I predicted that Juan Merchan, now isolated as the rats scatter to protect themselves, would drop the political bogus trial against Trump. Reports today suggest that's exactly what's happening. Merchan should resign immediately in shame as well. Yes, he should. Prediction Juan Merchan will suddenly see the light and grant Trump motion for a mistrial. Letitia James will then suddenly decide to drop the case, pretending to do it for unity and good of the country. We've been on the right side of these issues. I got to tell you, like it's great to have a show like this because you can go back into the archives and you can see were you right, were you wrong, right? Were you right or were you wrong? What were you saying? You know, what were you saying at the time? Alina Habba, one of our absolutely favorite guests to have on the program, savaging Juan Merchan. I was yelled at, and I've had a judge is unhinged, slamming the table. I do not tolerate that. I do not tolerate it here, says Alina Habba, who I hope has some type of great White House position. Alina Habba saying Juan Merchan has been randomly selected for Steve Bannon's case, Alan Weisselberg's case, and Donald Trump's case. This New York judicial system and legal system is so unbelievably corrupt. It needs to be ripped out, root and stem. This is what Alina Habba said last night on Fox News, saying it's time to unite the country. The country clearly rejected lawfare against American citizens and American presidents. Putting this all behind us means consequences for these people. Hopefully they all lose their jobs. And that'll be, at the very least, a consolation prize for what they put all of us through. Here we go.
You know, they lost the election for them. I truly believe that. I think that the lawfare people having statements today like Hochul and Letitia James, the narcissism, it's got to go. So America's tired of it, and I think they said that in the polls. These cases need to be dropped. We need to move on. America needs to heal.
Yeah, fresh start. We could all use it, and so could your voice.
Fresh start.
Go have a great night and celebrate again if you want to.
It's all right. It was worth it, Jesse.
I bet. Thanks so much.